Welcome to Lies Changes Truth. I'm your host, BK Blessed, and in this podcast, we dig deep into the stories we tell ourselves, the lies we've been told, the changes we make, and the truths we uncover along the way. Life is a journey, a constant evolution from one version of ourselves to the next. But what happens when the stories we've been telling ourselves no longer serve us? When the lies we believed, whether from others or from within, hold us back from becoming our truest selves? The Bible tells us in John 8:32, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Each episode will explore how truth can free us from the lies and false narratives we've been holding on to. Every episode, we explore personal transformation and challenge the narratives that keep us stuck. Whether you're navigating self-doubt, facing lies others have told you, making changes for the better, or searching for your truth, this is the place for you. So let's dive in and start our journey of truth together.
Stop searching for the miracle and be the miracle. This ain't gonna be lyrical, this is straight facts. Stop waiting on the change and be the change. This ain't new news, this go way back. Stop waiting on someone to get it for you, go get it for yourself. Take your pride back. If God is your motivator, then you can do all things. Believe that. My power is divine, every line aligned with the higher power, receive that.
What's up, guys, beautiful souls? Welcome back to another episode of Lies Changes Truth. I'm your host, BK Blessed. Today is about money, power, and respect. We're going to dig into that lie that happiness and fulfillment come from material success. This lie, it's a deeply ingrained part of our culture. It's everywhere we look. We're constantly told that to be happy, we need more. We need more money, more possessions, and more status. Social media, it's got all the influencers and all the celebrities showing off their quote-unquote perfect lives. But if we were to look underneath all the filters and all the glamour, the truth is that material success, it can't give us lasting joy. And I know it's not just social media that's feeding us that lie. This has been with us for a minute. It's something we've been conditioned to believe for a long time in all areas of life. Whether it's climbing the corporate ladder, buying the bigger house, or finally landing that six-figure salary. See, we've been led to believe that the more we achieve and accumulate, the happier we'll be. But today, I want to break that down and talk about where true fulfillment really comes from. I'll start with me. I've never been someone who places money on a pedestal. But because of not having much growing up and due to some of the choices I made in my late teens to young adult years, I felt like I was behind the eight ball and that I needed to catch up to everyone else. So for a long time, I fell under the delusion that if I could only get more money, my life would be so much happier. So I started chasing that idea of success. I thought that if I could just reach a certain level in my career, if I could just make a certain amount of money, then I'd finally feel fulfilled. I kept setting goals, then I'd achieve them. And then immediately I'd set higher ones, thinking that maybe this time I'd be satisfied. But no matter how much I accomplished, that feeling of contentment never lasted. I realized quickly something that I already knew, that money is only a means to an end. And it's amazing to have. It's a necessity in this life we live. And it feels so good to be in a position to be there for others when they need it. Because you can get a new title and you could change your tax bracket and you could have the best house on the block and still wake up every morning feeling empty, unaccomplished, and unfulfilled. Sitting at the foot of your bed thinking, is this it? Is this really what I've been chasing all this time? It's a wake-up call. You're putting your energy into the wrong things. And I know I'm not alone in this. Think about your own life. How many times have you thought, if I could just get that promotion, if I could just make enough to buy that car or that house, then I'll be happy. But what happens when you get there? Maybe there's a brief moment of satisfaction, but before long, you're back to feeling like something's missing. The truth is, material success, it was never designed to fill that deeper need for purpose, connection, and spiritual fulfillment. Matthew 6:19-21, Jesus tells us, don't store up treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, that's where the desires of your heart will also be. Jesus is not saying that having nice things is wrong. He's reminding us that when our treasure, when our focus, when it's on temporary things, our happiness will be just as fragile. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he says, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Now that's the key. This speaks to the core of our journey. When we chase material success, we often lose sight of who we truly are and what genuinely brings us joy. The pressure to conform to the culture's standards can distract us from discovering our true selves and our unique purpose. Now, I want you to think about the people in your life who may seem to have it all. Maybe they're successful in their careers. Maybe they've accumulated wealth or some sort of fame. But are they truly happy? It's so common to hear stories of people who made it. Celebrities, athletes, CEOs, and yet they still feel empty. They've achieved everything they were supposed to achieve, but they're still searching for something that money can't buy. Take Jim Carrey, for example. He said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. Think about that. Coming from someone who reached the height of fame and wealth, even he's telling us that it's not the key to happiness. So then tell us, what is the key to happiness and fulfillment if it's not material success? I believe the Bible gives us a clear answer in Philippians 4:11-12. Paul says, I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. See, Paul's secret wasn't tied to what he had. It was tied to who he was in God and the purpose he was living out. That's true contentment. When our happiness isn't dependent on external circumstances, but on the inner peace we find in our relationship with God. Let me ask you something. What are you chasing right now? What's the one thing you think you need to feel complete? Is it money? A promotion? A new house? I'm not saying those things are bad or that you shouldn't work towards your goals, but I still want you to ask yourself, will achieving that really bring me lasting happiness? Or is it just a temporary fix? There's a study on happiness and fulfillment. And something I thought was interesting was that at a certain point, more money doesn't increase happiness. In fact, people who focus solely on wealth they often report higher levels of stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. Why? Because the more we have, the more we fear losing it. And the more we believe we need even more to maintain that feeling of success. Now, I want to turn the lens to something deeper. If material success doesn't fulfill us, what does? The answer lies in purpose. It's relationships and spiritual growth. When we focus on these things, when we live in alignment with our God-given purpose, when we nurture our relationships, and when we grow in our spiritual journey, that's where true fulfillment comes from. It's about the impact we make, the love we give, and the purpose we live out. That's another key. Think about people who've made a real difference in the world. They weren't necessarily the richest or the most famous, but they lived lives of purpose. Mother Teresa, someone who gave her life to serve others, and she didn't accumulate wealth, but she found true fulfillment in her purpose. Or Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, who used his platform to teach kindness, love, and acceptance. He once said, there are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. The third way is to be kind. He understood that success isn't about what you have. It's about who you are. So as we begin to wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. If you've been caught in the lie that material success will bring you happiness, I really think it's time to refocus. Shift your energy towards things that really matter. Invest in your relationships. Live out your purpose. And more importantly, build a deeper connection with God, because that's where you'll find true peace and fulfillment. Proverbs 11:28 says, trust in your money, down you go. But the godly flourish like leaves in spring. When we place our trust in material things, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. But when we trust in God and live according to His purpose in our lives, we flourish. I want to thank you for joining me today on Lies Changes Truth. I'm your host, BK Blessed, and I want to challenge you this week to really think about what it is you're chasing. Ask yourself if it's bringing you closer to God. Is it bringing you closer to your purpose and closer to the people that matter most in your life? If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it with someone who you think might need to hear this message. And if you have time to leave me a review, I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can connect with me at Lies Changes Truth on Facebook and at Lies_Changes_Truth on IG. And God's beautiful souls, I don't want you to ever forget that growth starts with truth, and that truth begins within. Because remember, true fulfillment comes from aligning your heart with what truly matters, not the material, but the eternal. Stay blessed, stay purpose-driven, and stay you.
This is your time, this is your life. You're gonna be alright, you're gonna be alright. Be a motivator, be an innovator, be the best you. Block out the haters, winners fail and fail, but a failure quits. Go through the fire, cause your path is lit. You'll get through the pain, it might hurt a bit. That's how you get your weight up, so move all these mountains. Knock down these walls and break all these bricks. Don't let the devil fool you, see through the tricks. Can you feel the power? Yeah, you getting stronger. Can you make it through? Yeah, you got through harder. See, the time is now, can't wait no longer. Cast out the fears, no more paranoia. This is destiny, time to grab a hold. This is meant to be, time to let it go. Believe in yourself, God's in control. This the realest thing I ever wrote to whom it may concern. This is your life, this is your time. You gon' be alright, you gon' be alright. Follow God's plan, follow his light. You gon' be alright, you gon' be alright. Have no fear, cause he's right here. You gon' be alright, you gon' be alright. This is your time, this is your life. You gon' be alright, you gon' be alright.